Hi, how are you guys doing? Hello, you're welcome to an amazing episode on Experience Literature Podcast. Don't forget that this podcast is a platform for you to be expressive and a reality check. I'm meteorology Gloria, and today's topic, if you had watched 2 episodes back, we have spoken about wealth creation, and that is one episode I implore you to watch. We spoke about how we got so comfortable receiving handouts or takeout. And if you had checked from that episode, yes, on the last episode, we spoke about the power in the name of God. On this episode, we are talking about humility. And there is something that has been standing out for me in the New Testament as I read through Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, First Corinthians, Second Corinthians, Romans. It is the fact that God has constantly reminded us that for those people that try to elevate themselves, they will fall. But for those people that wait on the Lord to elevate them, they will rise. The Bible said that righteousness exalts a nation. Even though the Bible had said that it is He that gives us the power to acquire wealth. So there are 3 things I want to point out on this topic today. Humility. You need to be humble enough to know that you are not perfect. And it's okay. That is okay. I don't know why it's like that is something I struggled with growing up. I felt like you needed to be a certain way for people to like you. And if you heard my sister in the previous episode, she had said that she felt like she needed to seek the approval of men. And is I think it's God is one person that acknowledges the fact that this person is not perfect, but the person is striving towards perfection. Humans need to accept that. Number one, you need to be humble enough to know that you're not perfect. Number two, you need to be humble enough to know that failure is a existing part when it comes to your success story. The most important thing, according to Tayo and Kumi in Ebuka's wealth creation episode, I will always keep referring to that episode because I feel like that episode changed the trajectory of my thinking and everything. So on that episode, Tayo and Kumi had said that failure is something that you cannot take away from a success story. In fact, when they want to recruit people that they want to invest in, they look at the amount of failures. But the most important thing is that when you fail, be humble enough to know that the failure is not the entirety of everything. Be humble enough to know that the lessons you get from that failure is what is most important. When you are proud, you can't fail. How would you be able to understand and hold that lesson strongly? So be humble enough to know that failure is very important, but what is most important are those lessons you get from your failing stage of that failure part. Number three, you need to be humble enough to know that you do not know everything. And there's something I was watching about I was watching this School of Hard Knock. He said that when you meet broke people, there is a lot of I know. You need to be humble enough to know that you do not know everything, and that is the fact. I told you on my previous episode, I think 2 episodes back, that for the first time I went to the dictionary to check the meaning of bare minimum. I was also of the school of thought that for a human being to be able to be acceptable, the individual should just know the barest minimum. I always use that language. I know they understand the language. But after watching that episode with Ebuka, I went back to check for the meaning of bare minimum. And it dawned on me that I did not have the whole knowledge on the study of bare minimum. So you need to be humble to know that you do not know everything. You need to be humble enough to learn. You need to be humble enough to unlearn. You need to be humble enough to relearn. These are 3 stages I've always spoken about on my podcast. The stage of learning, unlearning, and relearning. That is very paramount in the growth of every human being and the growth of relationship. Anything you consider in this life, there are some things that you would have done before that will make sense. And maybe when you do it again, it won't make sense for that situation. Then you have to relearn it again for a different situation. So humility is something I think that is going to put you in a space where kings and queens will recognize, because I think I'd read in one book that people are very comfortable when they know that they're in the space to teach you certain things. But if you enter a space where you're supposed to humble yourself and listen and understand and learn, and you do not do that, you can't say, oh, I have something to say. There is something that happened in that episode too with Ebuka and Banky in that world creation. Ebuka is someone I know that people idolize. I, for one, I idolize Ebuka. Banky is well respected in the music industry. But when Kumi and Tayo were speaking, I could see the eagerness of them to pick important In fact, everything they said on that episode was very important. But imagine the caliber of men. Imagine Ebuka and Banky paying attention strictly to what Tayo and Kumi were saying. Not be so they never, it's not that they have not made it in life, not be so they never make up. But they know that and no man is an island of knowledge. You need to understand these things. You need to understand that there are some places you go to, you listen than you speak. If the when we talk, say listen more and talk less, they know what they talk. Sometimes you just, even though you know, sometimes just listen. Even at my age, when my mommy says certain things, I am very humble enough to listen. And something happened recently. It happened between me and the staff that work with us. And my mommy was just like, Oluchi, let it go. I did not understand though. I was literally boiling. I was like, why are you telling me to let this thing go? I was home. I even went to my mom and asked her, Mommy, I don't understand this thing. Please explain to me. Why did you say I should let this thing go? And if there's anything that is constant with me and my mom's relationship, I have come to understand and I have come to accept that what an adult will see sitting down. Even me, if I climb to the highest mountain, I will not see it. The thing all play, not be one, not be two. So if my mom said let it go, I'm going to let it go, but I would still go. So I understand. Let me say I'm just doing it for pretense sake. I have to understand. So when I spoke to her, I understood where she was coming from. And I respect my mom to know that when she says something, there is something she's saying. Humility is something that is a very broad thing, but one thing that is constant with this one thing that is constant with people that have created wealth is their ability to keep learning. If you listen to the School of Hard Knocks, that guy said he's making over $10 million in revenue. But this guy still chases every billionaire that he can meet. He's still in the process of learning because this person had said, because this person has also said, is giving reference. Please, for those of you that have not watched that episode, please go and watch. I think that is one of the most amazing episode that has come out from that Ibuka's podcast. He said, I'm going to repeat on this episode again, 2 things that will change your whole trajectory as a person is the knowledge you acquire and the people in your corner. So if somebody like the School of Hard Knocks that have had the opportunity of meeting likes of Tony Lumino, Dangote, he has spoken to Tom Cruise, like think about the rich billionaire people you can think about. If you're still in the constant pursuit of knowledge and the constant pursuit of meeting people that has figured it out, you will not get how much. And when I speak about wealth, people think that I'm just talking about money. There are certain relationships you're going to build. And if you're not humble enough to understand that person and keep certain relationship, you may miss out on your helper. People have lost their helper because they were not able to be humble. Pastor said, there's something my pastor had said that you're saying, are you the one feeding me to your customer? Guy, your customers are the one feeding you. You need to be able to pick your battles. People will talk, say customers are always right. Unity is something that's going to give you that discernment to know when to react and when not to react. Brothers and sisters in the Lord, if I come and start telling you different points now, it will be like I said I talk too much. And I said my episodes for some times now has just been to say the point and just leave it at that. Humility is something that you should consider if you're in the business of creating wealth. It's safe to say that episode so far has just been pointing towards the direction of wealth creation. So I think we should keep tight for more of these steps. Humble. Humility will not kill anybody. I don't tell you this thing. Be humble enough to ask. That's another thing. We are too proud. People wait all because they will tell you, so you are too broke to be where you at. So if you see person where you won't ask something, be humble enough to ask. Don't say, oh, me way I have first class degree. How can I go and meeting this person where you don't even know anything for school? But the person can literally change your life. So if you can ask, my brother and sister, ask. And it shall even the Bible talks, say, open your mouth and ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek. And you will find, but you are not even humble enough to ask. You're not even humble enough to receive because if you say you big past that person, brothers and sisters in the Lord, please engage on this conversation on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and in YouTube. Tell us one thing humility has done for you. If there's anything humility has done for me, it has cost me recognition. Not cost. If there's anything humility has done for me, it has placed me in positions where I felt like, oh, you know, if you get to that point. But because I was humble enough to ask, I was always humble enough to receive, I was humble enough to have those conversations. Even when I feel say, oh, this person seems younger, that is not my business. So please engage in this conversation. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lich's Comstat is going to pop on the screen. Please subscribe, guys. I would really appreciate. Engage us on all our social media platforms, EWL Podcast, EWL_podcast on Instagram and TikTok. My favorite handle, Oluchi across all social media platforms. I'm your host, Oluchi Gloria. Don't forget to spread love because God is love. Love is God. Have an amazing week. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.